We'll go ahead and call the August 25th, 2022 Park Board meeting to order. Start with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Ms. Ashley, if you would conduct the roll call, please.
Mr. Holstein?
Present.
Mr. Marquardt?
Here.
Ms. Miller?
Present.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Present.
Ms. Sheehan is currently absent. Ms. Sandberg will be absent. Mr. Salatas?
Present.
Ms. Abernathy present. Mr. Austin will be absent.
Okay, we have a quorum. First item on the consent agenda is the approval of the July 26, 2022 meeting minutes. I guess the modification there is that we don't have a docket. Ms. Sandberg said there would not be one. So I just need a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 26th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 26th.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Marquardt. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second that.
Okay, second from Ms. Sarah. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Holstein?
Yes.
Mr. Marquardt?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Okay. Item number 1 in new business is ratify approval of use of park impact fees in the amount of $23,190 for new lights at Kiwanis Park. Item number 1 in your iPad is some details about the lights. They are similar to that were purchased for Bartlett Wahlberg Park, which is consistent. So this has actually already been approved by the council, and in discussion with Mr. Kubiak, Mr. Salatas, and a few other parties involved, this was something that they were planning on doing prior, and that's why the council voted on it prior to us receiving it. So ultimately, we just have to say that we're okay with those lights being purchased with park impact fees. Any discussion on that? Or actually, can I get a motion to approve the use of the park impact fees in the amount of $23,190 for the 6 lights for Kiwanis Park?
I'll motion to.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Rodriguez.
And I'll second it.
Okay, I have a second from Greg. Is there any discussion amongst the board members about the lights? Hearing none, seeing none, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Holstein?
Yes.
Mr. Marquardt?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Okay, so item number 2 is a outdoor bi-level water fountain for Kiwanis Park. It's item number 2 on your iPad. Speaking with Mr. Kubiak, the water line has been disconnected from the Eagle Scout water fountain, and it's going to be relocated at Kiwanis Park at some point. In lieu of that water fountain, Mr. Marquardt had showed me a multi-level water fountain that is at Lemon Lake, which is serving the dog owner and water bottle. So it's a 3-fill. Mr. Kubiak had been looking at these anyways. I did get clarity from Mr. Kubiak that they have the ability to store this till next season because the dog park isn't opening till next spring, realistically. But this is a special order. So the item price from Leaps, item price is $38.89 35 cents. I would like to see a motion to purchase one of these so that when the dog park is open, it is ready to go and there is hydration for the animals and the people.
If I could just add, whoever makes that motion, if they could it would be paid out of park impact
Yes,
fees,
thank you.
contingent on legal review of the use of those funds.
Yes, I'm sorry. So, we did have a discussion that so far, most of the items with Kiwanis Park have been approved, with park impact fees, it's a new project. I will, send that email over to the attorney, for his approval. But past precedent so far tells me that that shouldn't be an issue. So let me rephrase that. I'm looking for a motion to spend in the amount of $3,889.35 out of the park impact fees pending legal review. And then we will send that to the council for approval.
I'll give a motion pending legal review.
Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Sarah.
And I'll second that motion.
Any discussion?
Yeah, it looks like the price is fair. It seems similar for the structure. My only question is Public Works responsible for install?
Yeah, Public Works will install that for us.
I have one question.
Yeah,
Do we have to get green, or can we pick it up with color?
green is standard.
Okay,
If you-
I'm just asking, I
No,
don't care. I mean, I thought blue's cute, and, you know.
Well, there's a total of 12 color options, if you want to look at the color
Well, I don't think we should go
palette.
through this, it'll be like
Yeah.
that last one, so. I think
Um,
we could stick with green, I guess.
I mean, if we're gonna discuss that, I
No.
would, okay, I was gonna say, we could go blue like the mulch if you really want. I'd like to go with a green or a blue, I don't know that it matters.
Okay, Sarah, what do you think?
I'd be okay with it. Blue.
Green's fine. It seems, I'm just reading the quote, says green standard, so I don't want to cause like a
Good.
back order.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we will make the recommendation, the motion has been made, and it'll be for green. Can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Holsey,
Yes.
Mr. Markort,
Yes,
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Okay. Item number 1 on reports and project updates is the clerk treasurer fund reports. Ms. Sandberg sent that over to me. The only payouts for us to take a look at that have already been paid was $170 for mulch fabric for new park installs to Hubinger, and utility supply company for water line repairs at Kiwanis Park. So the total there was $772.47 paid out. My guess is those water line repairs have something to do with the disconnecting of the water line at Kiwanis Park to remove the water fountain. They just haven't removed the water fountain. That's what Mr. Kubiak told me by phone the other day, is that it's disconnected. He said, but for some reason, they just didn't take it, so they gotta go get it. So the other items that haven't been paid yet, obviously, and this will tie into something I'm going to talk about here in a bit. The incomplete projects that were still estimated out of park impact fees is the Bartlett Wahlberg washroom, pavilion at Kiwanis, Lindsway Monastery, Woods of Cedar Creek, basketball goals at 3 locations, the key fob and water fountain estimate. So I'm assuming that the water fountain estimate and that item is going to get reduced after we purchase the said water fountain. Town hall fencing is still in progress. There's basketball courts apparently to be done by Public Works, ADA park improvements, clubhouse improvements that are still in progress. Kiwanis Park paving, which that should be coming fairly soon, right, Mr. Saletas?
Correct.
Okay.
that'll be a nice improvement.
And then we're still waiting on our parks boundary and topography survey, correct? We haven't heard anything back on that?
No.
Okay. So, I'll loop back to that in a second. Item number 2 is the August senior activity. It went well, just like the first one. A little bit lower attendance, but that is what it is. We were very thankful for Stretch Lab, who came and stretched everyone in attendance. And the feedback, once again, was that the seniors very much enjoyed the event. So, item number 3 in reports and project updates are the future dates. So, my goal is that we can get these scheduled now so that it's better advertised, people know more than a month at a time when it's gonna be. So the dates that I have chosen is, September 15th from 2 to 4, October 28th from 5 to 7, November 18th from 10 to 12, and December 15th from 2 to 4. The September 15th one, Edgewater Health is gonna be providing the presentation. I've asked them to make it a senior specific, you know, whether it's trip, slip, fall reduction, you know, flu season's upon us, maybe, well, not upon us, but coming, and, you know, that type of stuff. So they're going to put together a presentation for us. I have the fire department interested in participating in one to do some blood pressure checks, same thing, trip, slip, fall prevention, or blood pressure checks, or whatever. We still have Harry Preste from the police department that wants to do a senior self-defense class, and then we're looking for one more. In a perfect world, I'm gonna see if in December we can get one of the youth choirs to come and perform for our seniors, maybe a little holiday performance or something to that effect. But those are the dates we've chose. Obviously, they're flexible if they have to be, but I figured let's just get the year the rest of the way figured out, and that way we can kind of publish that and people can plan accordingly. Any discussion about that? No. I don't need a motion. Does anyone have any opposition to anything? I mean,
No, I like that we have a rotating time. that we have to-
yeah, there's people who have asked that it be evening, there's people that have asked for it to be morning, so we're trying to accommodate. Apparently Thursday, Wednesday doesn't work for 50%, but we please the other 50%, so we're just trying to do the best we can with what we got. Item number 4, donation from the Eagles. We did receive a $5,000 donation from the Eagles fundraiser that was placed into the non-reverting fund for events. That was a huge donation and very grateful, and I'd like to thank Member Marquardt for kind of putting a bug in the ear at the Eagles that, you know, we could use the help. You know, it is our intention to find use for that in the event programming and events, you know, to get a few things rolling. What those few things are yet to be determined, but at least now we've solved the problem of not having funds to start programming. So again, thank you very much, and please make sure the Eagles, you know what, I'll draft a letter and I'll get that over to the Eagles. I'll need the name of the gentleman who was the president, but if you can get that to me, I'll draft a letter. And actually, I'm just gonna back up again, to number 2 about August senior activity. Honestly, the first one, Town Hall, came in big. You know, Sarah and Kim from the police department, Margaret from Town Hall, you know, Chris came by. You know, Margaret was at the last one, Cliff was there. It is really nice to see people recognize that we really don't have resources or bodies, and to see Town Hall step up and pitch in and help and have the council members there, so it's really cool. So thank you to all involved for that. Item number 5 is the clubhouse. So the one item with the clubhouse that we wanted to discuss, and Chris, I don't know if it needs to go in the form of a motion or if we just can send this to the council for their review. Carpet cleaning. The carpets are pretty rough over there, and we don't need to beat a dead horse here. We've talked about it. They're dirty. They haven't been cleaned since they've been installed.
Yeah.
And I know we're coming into winter, but I would like to see us clean it now, and then work on a timeline in the future to make sure that we don't go years without that getting done if we're going to use it for events and such.
If I could make a suggestion, I've talked to the clerk treasurer. We have more than enough money in the clubhouse non-reverting fund to pay for a carpet cleaning. Sarah was kind enough to get 3 quotes for us. If you would like to amend your agenda to include this as an action item, we can have the council look at this. I don't think they're going to bat an eye at carpet cleaning the clubhouse. So I would just make a recommendation that if you want to act on this tonight, that you make a somebody make a motion followed by a second to amend the agenda to include this as an action item. You can then take a vote on that action item and call it a day.
Okay, so knowing that the funds is there, that was one of the big questions. So yeah, so I'm looking for a motion to amend the agenda to discuss or make a recommendation to the council for carpet cleaning. Can I get that motion?
I'll make a motion to, no, you did it to me.
I know.
To,
Do you want me to help you?
yes,
Okay, amend the agenda
amend the agenda.
to add carpet cleaning and send a recommendation to the council to do so.
Those would be two different motions. So
Oh,
the first
okay.
one is the motion to amend the agenda to
Yes,
include this,
Okay.
and then take a vote on that after the second.
We're still babies.
I'll
We're still
second
learning.
the motion.
I just did it, when you did it.
Getting old's terrible. Okay, so can we get a vote on that motion, please?
Mr. Holstein?
Yes.
Mr. Markort?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Okay. Sarah, if you'd like to go over the quotes and who you spoke with, and are you leaning towards one?
Well, AmeriClean was the first to send over a quote, very, very quick in response. MasterClean also had very good customer service, and they're closest to us. They both have good reviews. And then, Gold Star, I think would be third place for me. So I'm kind of, I go either way with MasterClean or AmeriClean.
The only involvement I have with AmeriClean is when my parents' house caught fire Christmas Eve of 19. They were absolutely stellar to work with, compassionate, caring. So that's all I know about them, is they were very nice to my mom and dad. They are also the lowest bidder.
Understood.
I would feel confident. The only thing I guess I would say, okay, so MasterClean isn't in the city, or town, sorry. So it's not like we're taking money away from a local business. That would be the only variable I'd have as far as paying more, as if it was a local business.
Right.
So, board members, you see the three quotes in front of you. I would like a motion for what company, what amount, to send to the council to get this taken care of.
A motion to use AmeriClean at $810.
Okay, can I get a second for that?
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? I have one, did they give a timeline? Basically, because we still have to have the council approve it, but did they give a timeline upon council? Council would still have to approve this, right? Or can we do this without council?
No, that's probably go without council.
So we could take action on this tonight and essentially get it scheduled,
Yeah.
which would be ideal, because then maybe we would have it clean before our September coffee
That'd
day.
be wonderful.
Well, none of them, gave a timeline for completion
Mhm.
because they all need to visit
Okay.
and give a solid quote.
Okay, so, okay, and that, I imagine it would be relatively soon. I would
They were all
think.
willing
sure.
to come out pretty
Okay.
quick to look at the facility.
Okay, that's only my only discussion topic, is did we have a timeline on them? Any other discussion about utilizing AmeriClean for this?
No.
Okay, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Holstein?
Yes.
Mr. Markort?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other items we want to discuss about the clubhouse?
Not at this time. I just want to get the cleaning scheduled for the floor.
Which, yeah, the sooner the better. I mean, there's no 5-second rule on those carpets. They need to be cleaned up.
At some time in the future, I would like to discuss replacing that carpeting with some sort of tile or rubber flooring or something.
And you and I have discussed that. I'm actually not opposed to that thought, just because we are renting it, and it's the same reason I don't want my kid downstairs with juice, is because it stains. And we have a stainable surface that we're renting for parties and gatherings and whatever. My only concern, and I think I've voiced this at some point with some of you, is that I don't know that I'm necessarily concerned about the slip. Bulldog Park has tile, or Bulldog Park has, you know, vinyl or whatever they have. It's not our building. It is the town's building.
Right.
And, being financially responsible, if the town is saying that the Parks Department, and this is how it's been presented to me, is that the Parks Department is utilizing the building, but it is not the Parks Department building. So then, that being said, I would like to see us pursue a partnership with whoever's deemed in charge before we spend all the money on flooring it. That would be my only stipulation on that, is if it's been, as I've been told multiple times, that it's not the parks building, then I think that we can split ownership of cost to refloor that. But I agree, I would like to see a different flooring in there. I don't like carpet in there when you're allowing birthday parties and other gatherings. So I would agree with Mr. Marquardt, and that's something we can look at when the budget comes out, and maybe that's something we have a discussion with council to work out those details. Anything else about the clubhouse?
No.
Okay. The only other thing I'm gonna add before we go to written communication and public comment, I'd like to task the board members to take a look at Ms. Sandberg's clerk treasurer report, as far as money spent, money estimated, and then the current fund balance. Mr. Marquardt and I had a conversation about, you know, maybe at least discussing a capital improvement project that we could utilize those funds for. I think that a capital improvement project is appropriate. I don't wanna have us get overzealous. We still have pavilions to pay for, we still have bathrooms to pay for. In my email with Mr. Slatus, we kind of discussed that project's still probably gonna be about a $400,000 to $500,000 project. So what we're looking at, you know, without really breaking down the math right now in conversation, is like almost half of what we've got in the present balance disappearing, just under half. Obviously, there's still new housing starts, there's revenue coming in that way, but, so what I would like to see the board do, and we can add it to the next agenda, you know, to whatever that item is. So let's say hypothetically we decide it's a basketball court. We want a professionally installed basketball court at Park XYZ. If that's what we decide as a board, I would like to see us start the process on that project for the following calendar year, keeping in mind what money we're gonna have available. I think as a Park and Recreation Board, being the baby ducks we are, I'm proud of what we've done so far. We've worked with nothing and done a few things, and, you know, I think we've all taken it very seriously, but we should always be thinking forward. So I would just ask that each of you, as board members, brainstorm what a capital improvement project would look like for next year. And don't all say basketball court, because I said it tonight. I'm just throwing that out there as hypothetical. You know, maybe it's a pickleball court. Maybe it's you know, whatever. There's that survey that went out to the community. There's a lot of talk about pickleball. There's a lot of talk about a lot of things. So let's do some due diligence and get ahead of that, and maybe start planning. And like I said, I emphasize, I want it to be a project. Let's not overstretch ourselves. Can we agree to work on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. We don't have to like make nothing for an agenda item next meeting, because if we don't have anything, we don't have anything.
We'll just make sure it's added to the next month's
As
agenda.
discussion. Okay, very good.
I have a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
So if we're having a senior event in September, would we need to vote on that right now?
I believe we've had precedence of the event, and when I set the dates with Margaret, I believe we were just setting the dates and we can just kind of roll with what we're doing. Your thoughts, Chris?
You'd probably be fine not, if you feel more comfortable doing so and just approving the list of dates that are here. And that could be something you could do, but also simply by having it on the agenda as well, you've already sort of provided public notice that it'll be happening.
Yeah,
But
that's fine with me. I was just curious.
Okay, I'm pretty sure if we pull those off the calendar, we'll have upset people. That really has been a fun event. I played Tenzi at the last one. That was a fun game. I've had a lot of fun. So that's kind of a cool thing. I have nothing in the form of written communication. You don't have anything, right?
I was not provided anything.
Okay, very good. So we will move on to public comment.
Good evening.
Good evening, Miss Mary Joan.
Mary Joan Dixon, 8711 West 132nd Place. I would ask if you could add public comment per ordinance. Right after roll call, there should be a public comment so we can discuss items that are on the agenda, because now I'm going to discuss something you've already discussed.
Okay, well, and I know that is the format for the council.
It's an ordinance for our public meeting.
Well, like I said, I do know that that's the pattern for the council, so I don't know why it's not the format for us.
My understanding is that it's only for the town council, but we can look into that.
Okay, we'll look into that, Mary Jo.
So the question I had was, or the input the drinking fountain that you pulled out of Kiwanis Park, the Eagle Scout project, would you entertain the thought or think it through to have a drinking fountain down here? It is so hot down here for some of the events, and if a kid doesn't have a buck for water, there's nowhere for them to get water to drink. Whether it's Summerfest or it's a farmer's market, or, if they have $1, they can go buy water, but if they don't, and then being down here, I see that a lot. So I'm just asking if you could put that on whatever
I
list.
believe we have a drinking fountain in the lobby there that's
Correct, but they don't always know to
public
come,
at all times.
they're kids, they're like,
Well, I guess-
festival.
So here's my thought, Mary Joan. What I know of the Kiwanis Park scenario, I've been scolded by some about the fact that that was an Eagle Scout project and that belongs on that property. So,
Unless it was broken, I don't know why you replaced it.
well, because there was discussion that if it was gonna be inside the fence for the dog park,
Oh.
because that's where it is. It's inside the fencing.
Yeah, so that would make it kind of difficult.
So
Water.
you'll put one there that has a little doggy bowl or whatever. So my thought would be, maybe that's something that we just consider, since this is park property, is that maybe we look into getting a.
Yeah, that just a
No,
suggestion.
I like that, and even I myself, if I come down here walking with my kid, which I do, that's a legit, item.
There's a hose by the bathroom, but it's really gross to watch them drink out of it. I'm just gonna say that.
Might I suggest
it's not
that
there
this
for
may
them
be
to
an
drink.
item for the master planning of the entire parks department and/or this site specifically?
Yeah, I do want to, I don't want that drinking fountain to get junked. if
No,
it's possible.
it wasn't going to be
You know.
junked. The intent is that they're gonna
Yeah.
run it, hang on, I have to turn my head around here. I think the plan is it's gonna run east towards,
Yeah.
the play equipment,
Yeah.
to be utilized there.
Yeah.
But I know that water fountain was part of an Eagle Scout project, so I wouldn't wanna bring it here.
He won't come after, I promise you.
Well, yeah,
He won't.
so we'll look into that, but that's great feedback, thank you.
And then the other thing, I'm sure you're aware of, from senior days, to communicate it, not always Facebook is where seniors are, so it could be on the website. They would go to the website to look for things more often, because your town website is your opening of information.
Sure.
So if that could be posted there, I think you'd probably have, and it was just some of us got confused that it was Wednesday, it's our fault.
Well, and this is part of it, and this is part of there's two things people hate, change and lack of it. When we had it on Thursday,
Right.
I was told by a handful that Thursday is very inconvenient because St. Michael's does a free dinner that night, and 2 free meals in one day was too much, and that we should do it on Wednesday. So when we did it on Wednesday, I was told Wednesday was not good and that Thursday was better. I've also been told that 2 to 4 is bad and we should do it during the day, and I've also been told that we should do it at night because there's some seniors that work, all of which is valid.
You're never gonna make everybody.
I will own that wasn't distributed as well. you know, hopefully, when we have staff,
Yeah.
they can run to Oaks 10 and post it. They can run it to the churches, they can run it to whatever.
Ideally, we will come up with an annual schedule next year, adopted in the beginning of the year, and then to just be published.
And then it'll be in the community calendar that goes out in the newsletter.
That was the only.
Nope.
And you know, when you said, we'll see you next month, I think I did. I said, oh, see you next Thursday, the same.
Sure.
But that's what happened to be, but.
Nope, I completely understand, and it's totally valid. Like I said, it was advertised the way it was advertised because I just,
Yeah, and I mean, I meet with a couple of them, and that's why I was just sharing, that they could go to the website, it doesn't hurt to have it there. And then I guess, just an FYI, on Tuesday, their future Holy Name will start their St. Clair's dinner, so that'll be another free dinner, just for the future.
well,
I'll let you
and,
know when it gets started.
yeah, and like I said, you know,
Like,
so
they
we'll.
can't eat 2 meals a day, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, last I checked, I haven't turned down 2 free meals in my life, so, no. I do appreciate the feedback,
Yeah.
and again, the water fountain thing is something we'll just take into consideration.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Going once, going twice, we're done. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
Motion?
Okay, we got a motion to get out of here? All right. Next meeting is September 22nd, 2022. We will see you all then.